Valley front here Subway trains by caught 3 this week. So let's get into them. So the first train I caught is CN Z100. Coming out of Winnipeg and is heading to Montreal. It was hit by 8837 with a really powerful K5 LA horn. And trailing second is 2249. And that has 138 rail cars. And this was taken on Monday, May 19th. The next train I caught is Go 6912. Coming out of the Allendale Waterfront GO station in Barrie and is heading to Trotosina station. It was hit by 640. And trailing it is old cab car 254. And this is a 6-car train. And this was taken on Tuesday, May 20th at the Newmarket GO station.
Last call for the doors. Please stand clear, doors not closing.
Now here to explain the next train is King Railfanning 8090. Take it away.
Hello everyone, this is King Railfanning 8090, the king of Canadian railfanners. I am here to explain CNQ 105, which is coming from Montreal and it's heading to its destination in Vancouver. This is probably one of the best lash-ups ever caught in railfanning history because the power has got AC power, EMD power, GEVO power, and DC power.
I definitely seen better lash-ups than this.
Tyler M caught this at the separate crossing.
That's not even close, LOL. That's at the Princess Street crossing.
And I caught it at the Coniston crossing located near Sudbury. So for lead number 1 is 3359, which is an AC44 C6M rebuilt -9 with a really awesome sounding K3LA horn. And according to online, it has been originally BNSF 4485. For trail number 2 is 8310, which is an SD75I ACC rebuilt, and it's been originally CN 5729. For trail number 3 is XCREX 2786, which is a GEVO, as usual. For trail number 4 is 8337, which is an SD70M-2.
Well, it's 8837, not 8337.
And for trail number 5 is 2249, which is an ES44DC, also known as a DC GEVO. Back to you, T.
And to finish this off, 105 has 174 rail cars and 510 axles. And it was going slower than usual through here. That's because there's a speed restriction at mile 40. And this and the next train was both taken on Wednesday, May 21st.
C, total axle 510, speed 39.
The next train I caught is CN0491. A northbound HERZOG train coming out of Montreal and is heading to Hernepin. This had 2 GFOs, and that being 2911 Robert, also serving K58 Gellhorn. And trailing second is 3143. And that has 90 HERZOG cars. The next train I caught is CN-M314. Coming into the 17-yard in Winnipeg and is heading to the Macmillan yard in Toronto. It was led by 8827, but really also setting P5 horn. And the entry will give me a wave. Trailing second is 8822. And trailing third is DESX029. A SW1500 switcher. And it was picked up in KPO. And 313 has 92 freight cars. And if you're enjoying this so far, then please make sure you give it a really big thumbs up. And by the way, this and the next train was both taken on Friday, May 23rd. The next train I caught is CNQ102. Coming out of Rubberbanks, BC, is heading to Brampton. It was hit by 8015. A SD70M-2, also setting P5 horn. And trailing second is 2245. And that has 165 rail cars. The next final train that I caught is CN-Z112. Coming out of Vancouver is heading to Brampton. It was hit by 8952. That Grand Truncated Jr. with a really weird horn. And trailing second is 3354, which was originally BNSF 4475. And that has 163 rail cars. And this was taken on Saturday, May 24th. Well everyone, I really hope you enjoyed our train spot caught this week. All in all, it wasn't that bad, even though the weather was mostly raining this week. And it was really cool too. But oh well, let's hope that the next week will be better. If you enjoyed Double Train Spy cards, then you know what to do. Please make sure you give this video a really big thumbs up. And subscribe for more videos if you haven't already. That will really help me a lot. And I guess until my next Railfanning video, which is going to be this weekend some Railfanning trip, I will see you guys later. Peace out, folks, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Have a wonderful evening, and that will be it from me. Bye now, and I will see you guys in the next Railfanning video. Hope you enjoyed it.